Stand on this riverbank today, and you are standing on the grave of a capital city. No ruins, no signs, just water. In 1818, this town was the capital of Illinois. It had a courthouse, a newspaper, a college, and thousands of residents. Today, fewer than 15 people live there. The rest of the city sits under the Mississippi River. This is not a story about war. It is not a story about plague. It is a story about a river that simply decided to move, and a nation that let an entire capital disappear without a fight. Long before Illinois was a state, this settlement was already old. French fur traders founded it in 1703. By the 1770s, it was one of the largest towns in the entire western frontier, bigger than most settlements east of the Appalachians could claim. It sat on a peninsula between two rivers, protected on nearly every side by water. That water built the town. Later, it would erase it. When Illinois became a state in 1818, this river town was the obvious choice for its first capital. Lawmakers gathered here. Land deals were signed here. The territory's entire government ran out of buildings that no longer exist. Steamboats crowded its docks. Merchants shipped grain and furs downriver toward New Orleans. For a brief, glittering period, this small peninsula town was the political center of a rising American state. The capital moved to Vandalia in 1820, and the town's political importance faded. But the real threat was not politics. It was geology. The Mississippi River does not stay still. It carves new paths, abandons old ones, and eats through land that stood for centuries. Residents noticed the river creeping closer decade after decade. Farmers watched fields disappear into the current. Few imagined the entire town would follow. In April 1881, the Mississippi River rose during a violent flood season. Instead of retreating back to its old channel afterward, the river carved a brand new path directly through the peninsula. Overnight, the town found itself sitting not beside the river, but inside it. Homes flooded, streets became sandbars. Families fled with whatever they could carry, watching their houses sink into the current behind them. The river's new course sliced the town away from the Illinois mainland entirely. What was once a peninsula in Illinois became an island technically located in Missouri, separated from its own state by a river that had simply rerouted itself. Residents who chose to stay found themselves living on a shrinking scrap of land, cut off from roads, railways, and the state government that once called this place home. Remarkably, a small population held on for decades. They rebuilt structures on higher ground, kept a church running, and preserved a statue gifted by the Pope, a relic from the town's earliest French Catholic roots. Every spring, they watched the water anxiously, never knowing if this flood season would take the rest. Today, the population sits in the single digits. The original town site lies entirely underwater, buried beneath the Mississippi's current path. A handful of buildings survive on the newer, higher ground nearby, including that same church and statue, still standing after more than 3 centuries. Historians still debate exactly where the original streets once ran, because the river erased the evidence along with the town. This is not an ancient ruin swallowed by time. This happened in living memory of America's own statehood. A capital city vanished, not through war or neglect, but through the raw, indifferent power of a river doing what rivers have always done. It is a reminder that American history is not only written by people. Sometimes geography writes the ending itself. The next time you cross a bridge over the Mississippi, remember this. Somewhere beneath that water lies a lost capital, a city that governed a state and then simply ceased to exist. If this story caught you off guard, subscribe, because American history is full of vanished places just like this one. Tell us in the comments, which forgotten American place should we uncover next?